Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Jen with Lighthouse Oracle and I am bringing you another pick a card, pick a pile reading. We have three groups for you today. We have group 1 with this little red flowering can. We have group number 2 with this beautiful little seashell. Yes, I did pick this up at the beach. I know his home is but and then we have group number 3 with this little leaf here. So this is going to be revolving around messages for March. Predictions, advice, messages, just everything you need to know about the incoming energies of March. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Take a moment, follow your intuition, whichever pile resonates with you the most. All the timestamps for each pile can be found in the description box down below. You could also definitely watch more than one pile. You could also watch all of them. I will leave that up to you. And we'll go ahead and get started with group number 1. Hello, group 1. This is for everyone who picked the first pile or this little red watering can. I know in the intro I said flowering can, but yeah. I mean, I guess, is that also what it's called? But let's go ahead and look into your reading. This is for all of your messages for March. I already pre-shuffled and pre-picked out your oracle cards because if I did it on camera, we would be here for hours. Well, for a bit. But I didn't want to do that to you. So I already pre-picked these. I haven't looked at them yet. But we'll put these to the side for now. And we're going to actually go into your tarot cards to give me an idea of what the energy looks like for March for you all. Oh, okay. This is just giving me like the bits and details. At first, when I decided to do this reading, I was going to go in with the oracle cards first, giving you a little behind the scenes action of what I was intuitively picking up. But as soon as I started filming, my intuition was kind of like, no, let's do the opposite. I don't know, let's just go with it. So let's see. A bit of earth energy here with the 2 of Pentacles cards here. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. Also a little bit of air here with the 4 of Swords. We have the Death card. Please don't click away yet. This is definitely, ooh, okay, see? What did I say? The 10 of Cups. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, and the 10 of Swords. Okay. I'm gonna put him back here. So when I initially picked these, if you notice also my little setup, I added some more new flowers, some springtime flowers, because March, around the middle of March would be the start of spring, and I wanted to give more springy vibes. But yeah, when I decided to pick the, is there anything else? First, nah, okay. I heard nah before I even started shuffling. But back to the charms, when I decided to use the charms that I did for this particular reading, oh my gosh, this little wick decided to go out on me. It's okay. But when I decided to do this reading, these charms also I had an intention when I picked these charms out too. So for the P4 pile 1, I definitely see March as a definite growing period, nurturing, self-care, you know, watering your own garden, which is, you know, correlating with the watering can for me. Also, it being red, it's associated with the root chakra, so a lot of, you know, grounding, how you can make yourself more feel more secure in the 3D, in your current environment, how we can bring about stability, because the root chakra is the first chakra, so it's all the way down like by right like where your tailbone is, so it's like the lowest, so it's the closest to the ground. So how you feel more like earthy, grounded, stable, secure. And when I see all the cards laid out like this, I'm getting a message of, especially for this time of March, I can definitely see this as like a sequential spread. We're feeling, I feel like, okay, so there's like a couple things, different things popping up, but predominantly rest. This is, I'm getting like an on-off period. So I'm seeing these two cards, and then these two cards together, which is really interesting because when I see the Four of Swords and then the Five of Pentacles, I definitely see it as whenever you start feeling, and this is one of the biggest parts about self-love and self-growth, is when you start feeling left out in the cold, when you start feeling a bit kind of like a bit of a loss in your environment, it's a time, I feel like that's spirit's nudge for you to take more rest. And that could definitely be in regards to financial pursuits, because the Pentacles suit is definitely more in regards to the earthly plane, so material things, whether it's feeling left out in the cold in regards to a career pursuit, if you want to expand on like a project, or if you feel like maybe like something that has to do with a collaborative environment, and you feel, I'm getting that kind of like a collaborative space, or like a partnership, or like something where it's more, definitely more than one person, and you kind of feel shut out. And I feel with this Four of Swords being here that when, especially during this month of March, this is still in Pisces season too, so a lot of emotions can come up from it. So I think the strongest message in regards to these two cards that I'm seeing is whenever you start to feel that you're out in the cold, maybe you're messaging a bunch of different people and no one's getting back to you, you know, maybe you've come up with some really, really brilliant ideas and maybe someone's not exactly taking those into consideration, you know, that kind of left on the cold. Or maybe even with a partner, because with this 10 of Cups here too, I'm also kind of picking that up along the way as well. If you have a particular person in mind that this message relates to, if you're feeling out of the cold with them, maybe you're trying to find ways to communicate, to work together to get out of this cold, and they're not reciprocating that response, I definitely feel that rest is definitely needed, because sometimes our emotions can definitely get the best of us when we're feeling this cold. And I mean, you see the imagery, right? It's, you know, someone's on crutches and someone is barely holding on to their cover, and it's like blizzarding. And, you know, when we get to a place like this, sometimes it can bring out a sense of desperation, right? Anything we can to feel warm again, anything we can to feel some sort of security. And so I especially, you know, it's interesting because they're both, oh my gosh, see, they both have this like church kind of tinted glass here, and it's definitely the energy of, you know, getting out of the cold and resting, finding sanctuaries. Find sanctuary wherever you can is definitely where I'm picking up the most of the energy from, is finding your sanctuary. Find, you know, your special spot this month, whether it's, you know, if you can dedicate a certain area of your room, if you don't have like a whole apartment or house or anything, dedicate a spot in your room that you can, you know, cleanse, create your sacred space. So when, you know, those feelings of being, you know, left out in the cold, you can definitely retreat and rest and recuperate in that space. Following with the Page of Pentacles and the Death card here, I definitely see this as a slow growth. The Page of Pentacles is definitely a planner. He definitely looks at things from, he takes all perspectives into consideration rather than other pages in the tarot deck of approach. A page is still, you know, that youthful, childlike mindset, that kind of innocent approach to life or to a goal. But with the death card here, the death card represents a death and rebirth, right? With that, when something, and I feel like the month of March can also bring, especially with it being spring, right? You know, things have been left out in the cold, so it's kind of like left out in the cold, more of that kind of ending energy. And it's kind of, I'm feeling with this Page of Pentacles, it's finding ways to revive, or, you know, I'm seeing kind of that the snow and the ice is melting, you know, new sprouts are growing. But with this Page of Pentacles, you're examining where, you know, where you want to flourish, where you want to place your garden, where you want to, you know, sow your next seeds, and, you know, that rebirth, that plan for the rebirth. So that's what I see there. And it does, and it can definitely have to do with this 10 of Cups here. The 10 of Cups represents, you know, basically goals, like the rainbow. It's very abundant, very emotionally fulfilling, very, a lot of love. This could also mean, you know, when you see the people down here, it's definitely like a commitment, like, you know, that love, that, you know, supportive feeling here. And so, you know, I'm seeing that this, depending on how, you know, of course this is a general reading, so please take what resonates. But I can definitely see this going one of two ways, right? If you allow yourself the time to rest whenever you feel left on the cold, you allow yourself the time to look at things from a different perspective when situations, because I'm seeing like a cold energy, cold energy, cold energy, warm energy, warm energy, warm energy. And so it's like this interesting balancing act of, you know, if we allow ourselves to feel left out in the cold, allow ourselves to, you know, wallow in the sorrow of something ending, maybe it's, you know, the seasons are changing, so death is natural when it comes to change. But if we allow ourselves to feel like all the negative, the cold parts of this death card experience, because the death card is also the only major arcana in this spread, then we can definitely end up feeling very depressed, very anxious, very like scared, like restless, because we don't see any, you know, we don't see any sanctuary, we don't see a rebirth, and then so it brings up a lot of this kind of a negative experience for us. But if we allow ourselves to look at situations with a different lens, say you feel out of the cold, so you take some rest from that energy. You see this death card, you look at this, you know, ending from a new perspective and bring about, you know, new change, welcoming, opening yourself up to a rebirth and feeling more self-fulfillment from all this energy, from the energy that keeps you up at night, you know, instead of allowing it to weigh you down. That's definitely what I'm seeing here for pile 1. And that's really interesting. This is also the 9 of Swords, if I didn't say that earlier. But let's look into your oracle cards and see if we can clarify where this is. The oracle cards I chose, or I decided, the decks that I decided to use they could be spirit animals, goddesses that, you know, you can work with to overcome these obstacles during this month. It can be very, very fruitful and very fulfilling if you allow it to be, or it could be very, you know, sad and very, you know, I mean, she's not happy, or this person is not in the best place, you know, but it all depends on a shift of perspective. And yeah, and the oracle cards can help us, you know, for like, I got some, well, let's just pull them out. But I have the self-care oracle, we have the soul journey, the moonology deck, goddess oracle deck, the spirit animal oracle, and the oracle of the fairies. So this is all advice, messages, additional things to help bring about a better change for this month of March, right? Because, you know, sometimes when seasons change, their moods change, and maybe at some point we felt comfortable. Sometimes we feel comfortable in like wallowing in sadness because we're used to it. And sometimes we don't allow ourselves to be happy, because that's also change. So that's what I'm getting. But let's look at your oracle cards. So for the self-care, clear your energy field. Oh my gosh, they're the number 10. So look, the 10. See, the 10 is spirits wants you to be happy. But you also want yourself to be happy, and you also need to allow yourself to invite that happy energy. And in order to do so, you have to clear your energy. And see, oh my gosh, this is crazy. When I was talking about finding your sanctuary, right? Clear a space where you can feel at the most peace, whether it's your room, dedicate your room to be, just that space. So whenever you feel down, you feel left out of the cold, you feel like something's ending, you feel like you're a bit restless, you can go to that place and clear your energy field. So it empties out, you get rid of that energy that you no longer serves you, and you can welcome new energy to come in and flow. We also have this soul journey lesson card, which is surrender. I can release my need to control. So maybe this affirmation, let's look up closely. Yeah, maybe this affirmation can help you release, because sometimes too, we focus so much on when we get into a rut. And I can definitely say this from personal experience. This past weekend, Sunday, personal story, but I feel like if this may resonate with some, but I was super emotional. I had a very big triggering moment. I don't even know why, but I was crying all day, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I just don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel this way. And I wasn't focusing on the things that I do want. I was definitely focusing more on the things I don't want. But as the saying goes, energy flows where attention goes. So my intention was to this, and to this. So all the energy went to this and this and this. Where, and I had to really work on, and that comes from, a lifetime or, a long period of conditioning to feel like you don't deserve to be happy, because you've been used to, maybe right now you've come to a point in your life where, things are going okay, but you try to but your brain is so good at nitpicking at things like, okay, things are too calm, something bad's gonna happen, so then something bad's gonna happen, and you're really expecting bad things to happen. So then when they do come, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is happening to me, why, things like that. So I had to really, with my soul group and my soul tribe and the people that are supportive of me, that, really look out for me, and also too, it's always okay to ask for help. I was struggling, and I just did not know a way out, and I was having a tough time, and I also felt guilty because I usually post a weekly forecast on what's gonna happen, and I felt guilty that I was feeling too sad to do it. But at the same time, that's where this rest comes in. One of the people in my soul tribe, which I appreciate her so much, well, all of them, I appreciate all of them for, is sometimes I can't hear my own messages, right? Sometimes even me as a tarot reader and a spiritual coach, I go through some bad days too, because I'm just as human as everyone else. But, and so it takes someone outside looking in to tell me, hey, take a break. It's okay. Take a break. Because I was like, oh, no. I feel so guilty. I don't have time. I need to get this ready. I need to do this reading. But then, from the outside looking in, well, if you don't give yourself a chance to rest, you're going to feel guilty for the things you're producing, because now you feel like and I said this in my little comments, that I'm contaminating the energy of the reading because I wasn't in a good place to do it anyways. And it was definitely a feeling, I was purging a lot, and I felt like it was Spirit's kind of literal intervention for me to take a break. So that's what this is definitely resonating with me too. And, if you give a reading, you get a reading. And, sometimes forcing yourself to rest is that parenting yourself as well, and yeah, I had to surrender my need to control, you know, how people perceive me or how I perceive myself. Control, you know, how, especially, you know, with my career as well. Sometimes I have people pleasing tendencies, so then I'll overwork myself, and then I'll feel guilty if I don't overwork myself and I give myself too much time to lounge around. And so seeing these from new perspectives has definitely helped me, and I'm still working through it. Of course, it's a wave, right? And sometimes we have to just ride those waves. But once we surrender to, you know, okay, let me just, I really just need to take a break. I don't feel so guilty anymore, you know, and I hope for that as for you as well. And I'm sorry I went off on a tangent, but let's look at the rest of your cards. So this is the Moonology Oracle. Oh, look, a personal issue reaches resolution. That's amazing. I mean, that's just basically what I was talking about. I hope you can see this. Okay, great. Because sorry, I record on my phone and I don't have a monitor. You know, balling on a budget here. But see, beautiful. Personal issue reaches resolution, and full moon in Cancer. The full moon, you know, represents release, and we just had a full moon in Virgo, which is where I felt like I did a whole ritual. I was like, okay, I need to release some of my need for control. I need to release, you know, my codependency. I want to release my negative self-talk, and I felt like coming from that was, you know, the weekend of a final test. Like, did you really release it though? And it was just a full-on purge, and I feel much better now. I feel like sometimes I'm, and I don't know if this resonates for some, but sometimes when I, you know, go through a period of really, you know, purging, shadow work, dark night of the soul, sometimes I'm like, well, if I just keep crying, I'm just gonna, you know, we're gonna get rid of all of it at some point. But, yeah, so if this story resonated with you, just know, you know, your friends are there to help. Your soul tribe is there to help you. You really just need to ask, and it will get better. If not today. Also, taking a shower really helps. So if you're feeling really like muggy and you just don't have the energy to get up, at least just take a shower, and have that vision of all that stress washing off of you is like the first step, because I felt disgusting. I was like, I'm just laying in the bed of my own tears and it's awful. And so yeah, sorry, back on the reading. I'm going off on many tangents. If you pick this pile and you would like to have some more information on maybe things that can help along with this journey, then I would, and maybe too, you know, I had this whole purging on Sunday, which was the 28th, the end of February, and so I feel like this is like my rebirth. So if you're going through this right now, just know that with an ending, the purging, right? It's like the ending of things that don't longer serve you. Even if it's toxic and negative, it can still feel like a death, because that was a part of you for a long time. And so once that is over and you finally get to that place, because I see this card, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna get back to the other oracles, but there's always a new dawn. The sun always comes up the next day, and it's always an opportunity to experience a rebirth and a new growth. And you know, you're never taking any like 10 steps back. We're all humans we're just souls having a human experience. And you know, once I really like just dove in, and because in the beginning I was like, no, not me crying right now. I don't have the time to cry. I don't have the time to purge. I need to get stuff done. And as soon as, you know, all my friends were like, just cry, just let it out, just, you know, let yourself feel. And I felt all of it. I cried all day. My face was swollen. I was just sore. My teeth hurt. Like, my jaw was very sore. But I feel like it just proves that, you know, there's an opportunity for things to get better. because what are the good days without the bad days, right? But let's look at the final oracle cards. Oh my gosh! And I didn't look at any of these, so this is amazing. But this is Wolf Spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom, number 67. If you reduce it, it's 13, reduce it back down to 4. So if you see wolves, see, and also wolves also go align with the whole soul tribe, finding your wolf pack, those people that will help you while, you know, when at those sometimes. And if you don't have that group of friends yet, I will be that support group for you. But also your spirit guides can help. Your ancestors, those people want the best for you, but you have to ask for it. And you have to reach out. So turning knowledge into wisdom, right? You know, I hope my story, as off tangent as it was, I felt like it wasn't so far off. But I know sometimes people don't like to hear personal stories, but I hope it resonated. And I hope that the knowledge I've gained from this experience of purging, of this dark night of the soul, brings wisdom to someone out there. So this is, moving on, this is so if you see wolves, you know, I'm also, when I looked at the oracle cards, I wanted to depict things that you can pick up during the month of March that can bring you back to this reading and bring you back to the messages that these spirits, you know, the guides want you to take note of. So wolves, if you see pictures of wolves throughout the month, if you see, you know, I mean, I hope you don't see like a wolf, but I mean safely. But if you see, you know, or maybe even, I don't know, I picked up the song, is it She Wolf by Shakira? So maybe that song might resonate. But yeah, wolves may be significant during this month. And this is the, ooh, awesome. This is the Goddess Oracle, the Goddess Power Oracle deck. Sorry, I had to look at the box. But this is Epona, and I'm so sorry if I'm butchering her name, but she looks like a bad bitch. Like, she's like, I mean, she looks strong as shit. And I've looked through all of these cards, like, as soon as I buy them, because I want to get to know who they are. But I have not seen her. Epona. Let's look at the book, because I'm interested in, like, oh. She Viking? She looks very Viking-like, if that's... Ah, yes, Epona. Epona? Celtic horse goddess of the Celtic Roman horse goddess of leadership and guidance, offers you her wisdom. Look, more wisdom, wise leadership. That you have what it takes to heed it. You can do anything you place your attention on, and you'll find it easy to accomplish what's needed for your intentions to take form. So yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're going through something and you know someone, you know, and you just went through all this and you're coming out on the other side and you know someone that can benefit from that wisdom, definitely take on that leadership role to guide them. And it creates that ripple effect of growth. And I mean, look at this. It's like you know, that water, or the flow of wisdom, goes into the watering can and you pour it on everyone, right? Sprinkling that guidance and that leadership. But it takes you to pick it up, have that, you know. And I'm getting like a really interesting metaphor of like your tears from the things that you've learned, you know, all that pain and hurt and sorrow filling up this watering can. It's changing. Instead of pain, it's growth and wisdom and nurturing, and that can water everyone around you for the better. And there is a little, not in my room. Ah, oh my gosh. And then the last, this is the Oracle of the Fairies, and this is Ask for Help. It says, angels are celestial beings who protect everyone. And the fairies say now it is the time for you to ask for angelic assistance. So yes, if this reading, if whatever I've said thus far has resonated with you, I definitely, like I said, if you're in that space right now where it feels like you can't get out and it feels really dark, very heavy, you know, that voice is somehow much louder than anything you can consume, or like maybe you're trying to drown it out with music and it's not working, ask for help. Ask someone to yell at you, like yell positive affirmations at you, because sometimes it takes someone from out, like I said, outside looking in, a fresh perspective to give you clarity. Whether it's your angels, your guides, you know, your tribe, this all leads to a shift in perspective and allowing your attention to flow somewhere else. Instead of all the negative, like I said earlier, it'll allow you to flow all the attention to rest, to new perspective, to planning, to emotional fulfillment. So that's what I have for you all today. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. If this reading resonated with you, let me know in the comments what you think. This reading, I mean, this is the first pile and I'm like, ooh, chills. This is amazing. And I hope that you all have a great month. I obviously am going to be doing more readings. New growth, right? New growth for all of us. I hope that this reading brought some clarity to your situation. And I hope that, you know, if you pick up on these signs throughout the month, it'll remind you that it will get better soon. Yeah. And, you know, watch out for wolves. I do see a lot of, you know, maybe crabs, cancers. Maybe there's a cancer in your life that can help, you know, help you reach resolution with your personal issue. Or feathers as well. If you see feathers throughout. Also a horse. I see a little horse chess piece here. So the knight. But if you see feathers throughout your month, there may be messages for you there. I also see smoke. So if you light incense, see, clearing your energy field. I'm definitely seeing like a lot of cleansing, you know, if it hasn't, you know, spring cleaning, right? I think spring cleaning may help a lot. So, yeah, I hope that you come back to see me again in another video. I am sorry I'm going off on so many tangents, but I do hope it resonated, and I hope that you all take care, okay? Bye! Hello, group 2. This is for everyone who picked pile 2, or this little seashell. Isn't she adorable? I love it. So yeah, we're going to talk about messages for the month of March, predictions, things, energies that may be coming in, that may be affecting you during March. We have oracle cards that I have shuffled, saged, cleansed, and drawn for the sake of efficiency in this video, so I don't have to do it all on camera, but I haven't looked at these yet. And we will also be going into tarot cards first. I don't know why I decided to do that for the first pile, so that's just gonna continue. But yeah, so this is for everyone who picked the shell. And let's see what messages we have for you. We're gonna put this to the side for now, but yeah, I don't know. When I originally, a little behind the scenes as we're shuffling this deck. So what is the messages of March for pile 2? But as I'm shuffling, at first I wanted to open with the oracle cards and then clarify with the tarot cards, or, you know, just get a clearer message. But for some reason, as soon as I started recording, I got an instant like, nope, we're not doing that. So here we are. Also in the intro, I was talking about how I found this shell on the beach, and I know that there's kind of, I know there's a bit of controversy. I don't know if it's very like a widespread thing of, you know, maybe you shouldn't take things away from their homes like shells or sand, but please don't come from my throat. I already brought him home, and I love him too. So I mean, I didn't like take a, you know, a creature out from his shell. The shell was already empty and it was pretty far away from the shore. So not that it justifies anything, but yeah. Let's see, is there anything else? We'll just get 6. Ooh. Okay, we're taking that one since all these didn't want to come up. So for the month of March, what do we have for you? So the energy starting off is already very different from what I saw in the first pile. It's interesting because we have the High Priestess and the Hierophant, which are, I believe they're matches for, they're pairing for each other. So I can definitely see this as a connection of some sort. Because they're a counterpart. Oh my gosh, I forgot the word counterpart. I'm sorry. Because how the Empress has the Emperor, and then there is the like the king and queens of each suit. So for the counterpart of the High Priestess is the Hierophant. I definitely see this as a very, your intuition is going to be very heightened this this month of March. Starting off, well, I'm just gonna like go through all these. We have the 7 of Wands, we have the High Priestess, we have the 6 of Wands, we have the 5, well, the Hierophant, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. So I definitely see this as a very prosperous month for you. You may have to defend yourself a little bit with this 7 of Wands energy. I definitely see this as like a protection against, you know, people that oppose your ideas, your opinions. And I can see that being with, you know, the High Priestess and the Hierophant. It's definitely a much more spiritual energy, a much more intuitive energy. And so there may be people that don't exactly align with your way of thinking or, you know, how you present yourself to the world. But I do see, I mean, most of these cards are beautiful. Like the 6 of Wands, definitely a victorious energy. This is like that boss, like a boss bitch, you know? That kind of an energy. And it definitely comes after, like, I'm getting the message of like defending your peace. And I feel like this month, especially with the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups here, the 10 of Pentacles talks about material fulfillment, abundance. The 6 of Cups talks a lot about, you know, reunions, gifts, friendships. And so I feel like this month can definitely be a turning point for you, especially. And I feel like maybe during the past month in, you know, February may have been a very defensive month for you in regards to protecting your energy, not allowing people to step all over you. You've had to be in a mode of defense and speak your truth, because I see a lot of blue here. The blue background all over, and which has a lot of association with the throat chakra. And I feel like, you know, in the beginning, you know, it was like, oh, I'm speaking my piece. I'm finally speaking my piece. But it was more in the sense of self-defense, in the sense of, you know, this is my truth. You know, it may have, and you may have been starting to watch a lot. Maybe you're just getting into tarot, or, you know, you're starting your spiritual journey. And so not a lot of people around your circle may understand why. You know, maybe, you know, people see a different side of you that has shifted, that has maybe changed from what you usually are like. And so you have to kind of keep your boundaries and, you know, with those people that are like, no, this is for my own good. I'm on my spiritual journey now. I'm on a path because, you know, and I feel like for the month of March, people's perspective of you may be changing as well. You know, in regards to how you, and intuitively, I feel like intuitively you know that this is the path for you. Even though it may seem out of the norm, it may seem out of, you know, what your social group sees as acceptable right now. Granted, we are getting to like an age of enlightenment of some sort. So a lot of people are kind of slowly waking up to the idea of spirituality. Of course, with algorithms, things like that, once you start diving into this spiritual realm, that's all you see. So it seemed like for us, that for me especially, I'm a tarot reader. So every time I go on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, it's all spiritual. And so it feels so normal to me. But as soon as I step out of that environment and I start talking to people that may not be into it or may not resonate with it so much, I start to get a bit defensive because I'm like, what do you mean? This is so good for you. Shadow period, I'm sorry, I saw this little petal stick inside and I don't want it to catch fire. So I had to address that. But, when we get into that phase of the spiritual journey, we meet people that may not align with that journey yet, or may not even have awakened to that yet. And that's their own journey, and so that's okay. And that doesn't I'm trying to get restrict your own growth. I was here smush down your growth, but I'm getting more of you're breaking traditions, you're following, intuitive guides. Maybe you're listening to your angels and your spirit guides a lot more. And with the Six of Wands here, you will be victorious and it will bring a sense of, and maybe, abundance seems different for you now. And you're allowing this month, the energy is definitely shifting into more of an abundant filled energy. There's not as much need for defense. I definitely see this as a good period of time for you, pile 2. Especially with the Ten of Pentacles here. I mean, yeah, this may have to do with old energy, but this could also be upcoming energy, right? When people see things change, they're like, whoa, what's going on with that person? What's going on with pile 2? Why are they all, woo-woo now? Why do they carry all these rocks and crystals? Why do suddenly they're so spiritual and start labeling things as oh, you're a hippie now, or things like that. Which, for people that don't understand, it's okay. They're on their own journey and they will, they either align with it or not. This isn't for everybody. Of course, self-healing and empowerment, it feels really abundant. It feels really good. And you want to give that information out. But you can say a message so many times and they're still not ready to hear it. So you may have to defend yourself against your own, desire to shift other people's perspective as well. And that will also bring you more security and more stability throughout the month of March. But at closing, I mean, the next two here, I definitely see this more sequential. In the sense that, if you keep going, I feel like if you keep going on this journey, you will find really good things. You will meet the people that are for you. You will create these friendships, and you will find that this journey is such a gift. Yeah. So let's look into your oracle cards, because that's what I see. Also, okay, back to, I keep looking at this charm and I forget why you look at this charm, but when I chose my piles, I did have an intention with the charms associated with each pile. So for pile 2, I see, this is definitely more of coming out of your shell. You're allowing yourself to be more your authentic self. Whether it's, on a spiritual journey, I mean, if you're watching tarot reading, maybe you have, it has piqued your interest a bit. And welcome. But I definitely see this as, coming out of your shell, allowing yourself to be more vulnerable and see things outside of your comfort zone. You're finding, and I see, when, is this a hermit shell or something? But I know hermit crabs, right? They grow out of their shell, and so then they'll crawl next to a bigger one, and then they'll just joop, dip out and then find the bigger shell because they're outgrowing that shell. So I feel like you are outgrowing your shell that you once fit in, and you are finding things that fit you now. So that's amazing. But let's look at these oracle cards. I specifically picked these oracle cards to, you know, what can help during this month of March with all of this energy coming in, you know. So let's look at this card. This is the self-care, sacred self-care oracle. All of the decks that I use will be listed in the description box as well. But dance number 18, I love that, which reduces to 9, which is all about the self. Yeah, with this dance, maybe dancing, moving your body, listening to more music, getting to the, I'm also getting that message of move to the beat of your own drum. So like I said, you know, you can try to get people to join you, but if they're not ready for the message, then they're not ready for it. And that's okay. You can still, you know, dance on your own. And it could be just as uplifting and just as fun. But I mean, of course, if you meet people along the way, if you know, find yourself in union with people that like-minded people, then by all means, it's a party. But of course, you know, in a pandemic, so we're trying to be safe, you know, right? I've seen, you know, dance 6 feet, right? 6 feet dance parties, or like virtual dance parties. That'd be fun too. Let's see this other card. Oh, this is loneliness. It says, I know that I am never alone. And yeah, maybe, you know, this pandemic has been a Kickstarter for a lot of people on a spiritual journey, on a spiritual path, on a, you know, finding their own personal truth. Because this, and I said this in the beginning of the pandemic when we just started that 2-week lockdown. And aren't we heading towards the anniversary of a 2-week lockdown? But I mean, everyone ends up having a lot more alone time. And so when it comes to a lot of alone time is a lot of perspective. You got to talk to yourself. You got to get to know yourself. And at times it feels lonely. And this may come up during this month of March too, right? You know, we were so excited to have, you know, it's getting to that time period where things are warming up, you know, the seasons, depending on where you live, the seasons are changing. I live in the US, so, well, yeah. So, you know, it's getting to warmer months, the time where we want to gather more, party more, and it may kind of be a little bit of a letdown that this pandemic has lasted a whole year, and that can cause us to feel a bit more lonely. But knowing that you are never truly alone, and, you know, like the 6 of Cups, I'm really drawn to the 6 of Cups. Once you get out of that shell and you meet those like-minded people and you create that soul tribe, you realize and you recognize that you're never truly, truly alone. Whether if you're by yourself though, you can feel the presence of your spirit guides, your ancestors, those people, you know. We are in a very technically advanced world. And, you know, we could FaceTime, Zoom, virtual, and of course it's not the same, but it's still like taking those steps to find ways to not make us feel so lonely. And this affirmation may help during this month whenever you're feeling this way. And maybe too, stepping out of your shell may cause you to feel a sense of loneliness because you have to defend yourself against people that don't see things the way you do. And that can bring up feelings of loneliness as well. But I feel like, you know, with right next to the dance card, I'm seeing like a lot of like dance it away, dance, you know, self-expression is dance is a very great way of self-expression. So let's look into the next cards. This is the Moonology Oracle deck. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So that's like that's what I've been saying, like this whole, so you're getting out of your shell and you will be victorious, you know, throughout the month of March. That tough cycle, you know, if you notice my spread, I added more spring-ish flowers. I don't even know if these are spring flowers, but the colors, yeah. And, you know, this first day of spring is on the 20th of this month. And so it could feel a bit of, you know, and I saw this in the first pile was, you know, the ice is melting, the snow is melting, things are starting to sprout again. And I feel like you're allowing yourself to sprout more, right? You're growing you're finding somewhere you're outgrowing this shell. And the end of a tough cycle is approaching this month. That's beautiful. If you allow it to, I mean, yeah. You may have to, you know, step out of your comfort zone a little bit more. Be more open to who your authentic self is. Show the world who your most authentic self is. Yeah. Let's see this card. Ooh, the dragonfly sphere. Oh my god, these synchronicities are like off the charts today. So we have dragonfly spirit. If I can zoom this in, it says truth transcends illusions. And I feel like same thing with like loneliness, right? Loneliness is an illusion too. The truth is we're never alone. We're never truly alone. And with the truth transcends illusion is also the truth of who you are. The truth of the fact that you are outgrowing your space, and that it is okay to outgrow things that no longer serve you and to find things that do serve you. And the number 22 here often represents a partnership too, right? 1 + 1, connections. Finding the truth within the connections that you have throughout your life. Finding those partnerships, those collaborations, those people that feel like home, that feel like you can be triumphant with them, that you can grow, that you feel abundant with, right? That you don't feel a sense of lack. The people that bring that true friendship to you, that you feel that friendship with too, that you don't feel like you're draining when you give, and you feel more uplifted when you give. Those are the people that, and you know it intuitively too, who those people are. And truth transcends illusion. That's beautiful. The truth of who you are will transcend through all of the struggles of the people that are against you, and will bring about victory for yourself as well. But you gotta be with your authentic self, right? You gotta get yourself out of the shell if you're not already. You gotta let yourself grow. Let that sprout grow into a beautiful, beautiful tree, into a beautiful flower, blossom. Let's see. And maybe dragonflies as well. If you see dragonflies, that can be a sign throughout the month of March. I do hope whenever I see, when I pick these oracle cards, that they may be signs, synchronicities throughout your day in March. And when you think of a dragonfly, maybe that'll bring you back to this reading and the message that I've presented to you. Also the number 22, 222, if you see that, that could be a synchronistic number that has a significance during this month. Also the end of a tough cycle approaches. Capricorn, full moon in Capricorn, releasing things that no longer serve us. Also Capricorns, if you have Capricorns in your life, that may resonate with some. Yeah, let's look into more of the oracle cards. 48, Spider Woman, co-creation. Yeah, recognizing that you are a co-creator with the universe. And I feel like especially with, all of the spiritual energy, is that you're getting into alignment. You are waking up to recognizing that, yeah, this is a team effort between you and spirit, and you and the universe, that whatever you think of, whatever, wherever attention flows, wherever attention goes, energy flows. So when your attention goes to the things that you want to manifest, the energy will follow. But if your attention goes towards more of the things that you don't want, like this loneliness, it'll create more of that sense of loneliness. And if you feel like you're always on the defense and your attention is, oh, I always have to defend myself, instead of I'm empowered and people look to me for guidance, or I'm breaking generational chains, I am living my authentic truth, right? If you're in that state of, oh, I'm feeling defensive, then yeah, you're going to be in that state of defensiveness, or there's going to be reasons for you to defend yourself. But if you find yourself in that place of, I'm a co-creator with the universe, I am living my authentic truth, then you will always be living your authentic truth. And that's beautiful. Also number 48, that's a very even number as well. And 48 reduces down to 12, which reduces down to 3. So 3s may be significant, 4s and 8s. Yeah, very significant here. And then the final card. New beginnings. Okay, so this is the new beginnings card. It says, this fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. And that is amazing. And it's so interesting. As soon as I finished reading it, I think I saw 2222 on. So allow yourself to have this new beginning of being more you. Yeah. And if it's not pregnancy, I mean, it's for some, for some. I definitely don't see this as for like the collective, but for some people, maybe you're, getting pregnant, having a new baby, but also birthing a new idea. Maybe you're, allow this new beginning to come for your highest good, to get yourself out of your shell and to grow into who you authentically are. And allow yourself to co-create with the universe and co-create with spirit. And I definitely see a lot of wings here, so maybe like insects. So if you see butterflies, because yeah, she's a fairy, but I definitely see this more as like, oh, and I see little butterflies. Oh yeah, so butterflies may be a sign, a synchronicity to, kind of a nudge back to this reading and to the messages that I've been saying for this month. I feel like the biggest message for group 2 is to live your authentic truth. Be truthful to who you are and be really honest about who you are, right? Sometimes we're like, oh, I'm a little bit of this, I'm a little bit of that. I mean, yeah, we are a little bit of everything, but authentically, without any limitation, who are you truly? Without the conditioning of what your parents wanted you to be, of what your job requires you to be. Who are you? In a personal story, I always felt like, oh, I'm a tough person. I'm this and this. I'm super strong. I have no feelings. I just push through whatever. And that was not my authentic self. When I was a child, I was always told, crying makes you weak, or, and I grew up, I joined the military, so it's always, strength, you're just push through the pain, pain is growth, whatever. And you just kind of like get numb and you don't allow yourself to feel. And my authentic truth is that I am a crybaby and I am not ashamed of it. I cry at everything now. I'm like, but it feels so good afterwards. And I feel like sometimes I cry a little extra to just as a way to kind of reconcile with my past of how I wasn't able to cry. And it's just like, I'm giving that back to you now, past me, allowing myself to cry a little extra. I cry at like puppies, those sad insurance commercials, anime. I cry at everything, so. And that's me. And I'm like, I'm not even going to be sorry about it. I cry at everything. And that's fine. That's who I am. And if you call me a little whiny baby, yes, I am. But at the end of the day, I feel better about who I am as a person because I'm no longer trying to fit a role or a persona that I have taught myself to be. Not that I truly am. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing. And a lot of blue. So see this blue dragonfly, as I mentioned like in the beginning of the reading, a lot of throat chakra. So speaking your authentic truth can definitely help during this month. Also, I didn't even mention this during the pile one, and I'm so sorry. But turquoise can definitely help during this month. Crystals that can help with the intention of speaking your truth, being authentic. Speaking with the intention of authenticity and bringing clarity and eloquence, like verbalizing whatever your thoughts clearly, efficiently, and for the good of everyone involved. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the reading here. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if this reading resonated with you. If you haven't already, let me know in the comments what you think. Yeah, this is this is a beautiful reading as well. I think all readings are beautiful. I'm getting really good vibes from this, so yeah, getting out of your shell is very important for this month. So yeah, I hope this resonated for you. I hope that this brought some clarity, that this was some good guidance for you, and I do hope that you take care. I will see you in another reading, of course. Well, I hope so. I do hope so. I will be posting more, but yeah, I hope that you all have a good month, and I will see you all in another reading, okay? Take care, group 2. Bye. Hello, group 3. This is for everyone who picked pile 3, or this little leaf here. It's a little paper, like scrapbook leaf. And yeah, this is for messages for March. We're going to look into tarot cards to see what potential influences of energy are during this time frame. We're also going to look into oracles to give any additional messages, advice, fun things like that. A little behind the scenes, I originally was going to start off with the oracle cards, but yeah, as soon as I started filming the first pile, my intuition was just like, nope, we're gonna start with tarot cards. So yeah, we're gonna put that to the side for now, and we're gonna look into the oracle cards to see what energies, what messages are on the horizon for March. Ooh, okay, so interesting. So very similar cards. Well, these 2 cards came out in pile 1, so if you resonated with pile 1, I would go check that out. Oh, okay, I was like trying to like push this back so I can pick up those cards, but they just turned back around, so let's see. Interesting. So the Hangman actually was on the bottom of the deck before I started shuffling. I was like, huh, I wonder if he's gonna come back up, and here he is. And the final card. So that fell on the floor. This is the 7 of Cups. So we're just gonna take, is there anything else? No, okay. I did intend to pull 6 cards. I like even numbers. So let's see. So we have the 9 of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, the 2 of Wands, the Hangman, and the 7 of Cups. So very interesting energies coming through with the major arcana card being just the 1, the Hangman. The Hangman's all about seeking perspective, finding wisdom, and I do believe it's interesting too, because when I picked out these charms, or these, charms for the reading, I did have an intention. So for pile 3, I definitely see this pile as the theme for the month of March is to believe in yourself more and to seek perspective. And with the Hangman coming out, I definitely see this as seeking different perspectives in regards on how to believe in yourself more. With the 9 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles, I feel like maybe we're in a period of restlessness, of feeling left out in the cold. I'm getting like a bit of a rejection type of feeling, and maybe this is carried over from the month of February, as February did have Valentine's Day, and it could be very triggering for a lot of people, and it could have some residual effects moving into March. But moving forward, I see March being much more fair to you. You're seeing, or at least you're definitely becoming a lot more fair with yourself. You're becoming a lot more fair with the energy you give to other people and the energy you receive from other people. In regards to, you're no longer allowing yourself, and I feel like that's when with this belief card is, I believe charm, but I see this as you're no longer allowing yourself to overgiving to people who only have given you crumbs. So I see this more as a reciprocal energy. Whatever energy you're going to give me, I'm going to give back to you the same. Not more, no less. And maybe you are coming to a decision about that energy, about the Six of Pentacles energy in this month. Depending on where you are energetically, emotionally, spiritually right now, if you're feeling left out in the cold right now, I definitely see the Two of Wands here coming as a sign, as a little nudge for you to make a decision, to kind of plan your next moves, plan how you will move forward and get out of the cold, right? How can we bring less of this energy and more of this balanced energy here? And it all takes a change of perspective. So I definitely see perspective being like the biggest theme for pile 3, for group 3, especially with March being a transitional period from winter to spring. There's definitely a change of energy coming through. And with the Seven of Cups here, the Seven of Cups often represents your dreams, your fantasies, having choices, things that you want to go for. I definitely see this as, how do we get from here to looking at our dreams and making moves on our dreams? How can we be more fair to ourselves and see things from a different perspective in order to go towards the things that we do want? Because I do see, and also the Seven of Cups can mean a lot, like having a lot of different dreams. Like, I want to achieve so much. But I feel like the first step is to get out of the cold first. And the first step is to find, attain that wisdom to fulfill this first dream, which is feeling more at ease, not feeling so restless, feeling more safe and secure. And that starts with believing in yourself as well. Believing in, your ability, because you have that ability to be fair to yourself, to give people the same energy. Give yourself the same energy that you were overgiving in the past to other people. So that's what I'm seeing for group 3. And this is definitely very similar energy to group 1, to pile 1. So I would highly recommend seeing pile 1 if this resonates with you. Because I'm seeing this like Two of Wands here as a very, he has the world in his hands, and he has one hand on the other hand holding one of the wands, and the other wand is just propped up. And I also see this as kind of like a door, and you're trying to step into, you're seeing the world from a new perspective. You're gaining, you're seeing your whole world, your world, not necessarily like the world, because there's like a lot of things going on around I'm sorry. There's a lot of things going around in like the collective world, but seeing as this is like your own personal world, where are you not being fair to yourself? Where can you, realign, readjust the things in your life to be more fruitful, to be more abundant, to fulfill your dreams more? So this is a very quick message. I'm not getting much else besides that, because I'm definitely getting, if you're in this energy, you could also choose to be stuck in this energy as well. And that's the thing with, these readings, and this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and get rid of what does not. But being a tarot reader, I also have to consider free will. And, as much as advice as I want to give you, and as much as advice as I'm, providing to you perspective and change and being fair to yourself is a very big theme for you, pile 3. You decide. You are the ultimate maker moves. You ultimately decide if you want to if you're tired of being out in the cold, if you want to seek sanctuary, because that's also what I see with these cards, is you want to get out of this. I feel like you really don't like, you know, feeling restless and feeling depressed and feeling like you can't go rest peacefully at night. Because Nine of Swords can be a very overwhelming, like, thought, like a lot of intrusive thoughts, a lot of overthinking, a lot of overanalyzing. And I don't feel like that's comfortable for anybody, but at the same time, I can't make you do anything either. And if you want out of this, you have to be fair to the energy you give and receive from others. Is what you're giving draining you more than it is making you feel empowered? Right? Does it move you closer to your dreams or further away from your dreams? Because we also have to consider nightmares are dreams too. So is what you're offering, is what the energy you're putting out fulfilling more of the dreams or the nightmares? What is it fueling? Not fulfilling, fueling. And that all comes from a change of perspective, allowing yourself to shift your focus to get a sense of enlightenment and kind of that aha moment, that, you know, and I feel like you definitely can, especially with the Hangman being the major arcana in this particular spread. I feel like this is very, and this may actually come out of nowhere, but you have to believe in the idea of change. Be open to it. And I feel like when you're open yourself up to that possibility, that aha moment can come out of just like, oh, wow, I need to do this. Or aha, like that enlightenment, that aha moment can come. So let's look into your oracle cards to see additional messages. I picked all these cards with the intention in mind to assist you during this month. Wherever you are on your journey in this month, they could have some resonance in terms of the pictures, of the words, of the imagery, of the numbers. So again, please take it as it resonates. But let's look into the self-care, Sacred Self-Care Oracle. All of the decks that I use can be found in the description box down below as well. Oh, but look at that. See, make a vision board. Put your fantasies and put your dreams into something tangible. Whether it's a dream car, right? If you have a dream car, what does it look like? Can you find the exact model of it in a magazine, or can you print it out somewhere and hang it up? It allows the energy to go from just in the realm of potential and actually condense it down into something more tangible. And it seems a lot more attainable at that point, because now it's like, oh, I can see it every day. I can instead of just visualizing it, you see it. You see it, you see it, you see it. It's kind of like that, you know, once you see like a red car, you start seeing red cars everywhere. That kind of an idea. Like, and that's what I see. And the number 33 can be very significant. It could be a synchronicity. You see 333 throughout the month. I mean, March is also the third month, so... What's that? Also, you're pile 3, so hey, hi, group 3. Make a vision board. Put everything, all your goals, all your aspirations, all your dreams, everything you want to manifest on that board. It doesn't have to be a car. What do you want to manifest? Love? Do you want to manifest growth? Do you want to manifest a business? You know, everything you want. Also, it's really, really funny. I haven't looked at any of my oracle cards, but I was looking on my laptop screen, and there is a little icon, and it's on the YouTube like homepage, and on the corner of one of those videos it's had the number 33, and I was like, huh, that's like my lucky number. That's interesting. And here we are, number 33. So I don't know why I had to mention it, but I just felt like mentioning it. So 33 may resonate. It's a very spiritual number, so that's amazing. Let's look at the next card. Service. Oh my gosh. It says, I feel good when I can help others. You know, does that, see, and that goes back to does the energy you put out feel more, fuel more of your dreams or more of your nightmares? Does it feel more empowering to you, or does it drain you? Sometimes helping others, servicing, volunteering your energy actually fills more of your cup, right? And for some people, maybe, it's the exact opposite, right? It feels more draining when I have to like be of service to people. And I feel like for group three is a bunch of givers. And it feels good when you help others, but you also have to be fair to yourself as well. Because at some point, it's like that really fine line of, you know, feeling good about giving your energy and your time and your efforts, and feeling like you have to keep up the idea that you're giving and that you're of service. Sometimes for a lot of givers, that can definitely be the case where, you know, we give and we're like, oh, I feel so good giving, but now I'm broke and I can't afford food because I'm over giving, right? But it felt good in the moment that I was giving to that other person. But, you know, now you can't afford to eat. And so now you're deficient in some way. So that goes back to you can feel good when you help others while maintaining fairness and balance within yourself. So this affirmation might be useful during this month. And also more green. So a lot of that. St. Patrick's Day is in March too, so you know, I'm picking up that, you know, four-leaf clover energy there. A lot of green. So your heart chakra too. The green has a lot to do with the heart chakra. So coming from a place of love, right? And, you know, coming from a place of love and not ego. Your unconditional love will allow you to give and not feel depleted and not feel like you're draining your energy. It's just a free-flowing energy. And whatever you give out comes back to you. So if you're giving because you're like, oh my gosh, if I give something, someone will notice how good I am or how nice I am and they will reciprocate, then that's not the unconditional love, right? When you give unconditionally, that's the, okay, you can have it. You know, I don't expect anything in return. And it may come as a surprise that, in fact, it does come back to you. That feeling of abundance does come back to you. And it may not be in the exact same form, but the energy, that feeling is the same. So let's look into your other oracle card. This is the Moonology Oracle deck. Ooh, meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. So perhaps we are still in Pisces season as well, at least until the 20th, which is the first day of spring. And so I think getting to know, believing yourself also has to come from getting to know yourself as well. When you know more of yourself, you know more of where your boundaries are, what you like and don't like, what becomes too much, right? Sometimes we don't even know that we're overgiving and that we're no longer giving because we want to, because it feels good, but because we feel like we need to. So when you, maybe during this month, meditation can be very important. It can bring a lot more clarity. It can definitely discern your compassionate heart. It can help, it can help you balance out and bring more fairness to you for the betterment of yourself and everyone else involved. Meditate and contemplate. See, perspective. I feel like this meditate and contemplate has to do with this hangman energy. It's that seeing perspective, gaining wisdom, that aha moment. When you're sitting in that peace, you start to realize, oh yeah, it came to a point where at some point giving did not feel good anymore. And you kind of recognize your threshold. And I'm kind of getting that idea of drinking. And if you're not 21, please don't. But there was a point where, some of us that started, drinking, we didn't really take the time to feel it out, how too many shots was too many shots. We just kept going, right? Just kept going. We just didn't even think about it. We just keep going and we don't know what our threshold is. So was it at the 5th shot? Was it at the 7th shot that something started feeling not right? So it's taking the time to slow down and let the energy, settle. And so you can see things a lot more clearly, right? And if, honestly, if this is, and I don't know if this is an exercise that I tried to do, so I understood my own threshold, but it's just like taking one shot. I don't, this is like alcohol advice and I don't know why I'm giving it, but I feel like that correlates to the fairness, right? I, took a shot of alcohol and, put it down. Waited for a little bit, okay, take another one. And it's like a controlled environment. And so it's a much more, I can allow it to settle, okay. And then it's like, okay, third shot, I'm dead, And of course, with, growth, especially spiritual energy, is the same thing. You take a shot of how much the energy you give, you pour that out and it drains you, right? Same thing. You take it out again. How much energy do you have left? You take another splash out from your own cup and give to someone else, right? How much until it's too much? So meditate and contemplate, that's what I see. Also Pisces, if you know a Pisces, they can definitely help in this regard in this month. Maybe you're meeting a new Pisces, someone with a Pisces sun or moon. If that resonates, let's look into your spirit animal oracle. This is Coyote Spirit and it says trust in divine detours, number 16. So yeah, maybe that feeling left out in the cold energy is just asking you, it's that saying again that rejection is just divine protection. And I feel like this may not even have to do with a rejection per se, but recognizing that these detours are here for a reason. And it's interesting too because Coyote Spirit seems very similar to me to Wolf Spirit, which was also in pile 1. But trusting in, in your dreams and in your goals and, the vision that you have for yourself, trusting that those detours are actually leading you to where you truly want to be, to where you authentically want to be. Not where you think you want to be, but where you truly want to be. So that's very interesting. Also, reducing the number down to 7. So 777 may be a synchronistic number for you. These are a lot more odd numbers. So 7, 3s. Very interesting. Okay. And also, yeah, coyotes. If you see coyotes, like pictures or, pictures of coyotes, that may be a synchronicity, maybe a sign to remind you of what I said during this reading. Let's look at the other cards. This is Mama Killa, the moon. So this is the goddess of the moon, number 32. So add that together, that's 5. So 3, 5, 7, more odd numbers. And yeah, this is definitely, the moon often refers to things that are hidden, unseen, not very broadcasted, not under the sunlight. Also, maybe, working with Mama Killa and the energy of the moon can help you release these anxious thoughts, these feelings. Sometimes we need the sun and the moon. We need perspectives of both and the energies of both. I know we do have a new moon coming up this month. We just had a full moon. So perhaps a moon ritual can help you kind of reinforce the energy that you want to keep. The new moons are often, and especially with this new moon in Pisces, it's really interesting because I think it is the new moon in Pisces that's coming up. I'm not 100% positive, but there is a new moon coming up. And with the new moon, it's all about intention and manifesting. And whatever you want to manifest is, and the new moon is all about that manifesting energy. The full moon is all about letting go, but the new moon is all about what you want to bring in. So perhaps working with Mama Killa can help you during this time. Yeah, the moon. Maybe, moon gazing can help too. Talking to the moon. I talk to the moon all the time. I'm also getting the song Talking to the Moon by Bruno Mars. I don't even know if that's the song, but that's like some of the lyrics. So maybe that song might have some significance for you. Also, this card, Precious Time. This is This one says, the fairy of time wants you to experience every moment fully and to make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste others' time either. And this definitely goes back to that Six of Pentacles, that equal give and take, being fair and being honest with yourself about what is too much, right? And I feel like that really goes back to the alcohol thing. And I don't know if alcohol is a, I mean, I don't even drink anymore, but yeah, with this, with the whole alcohol thing, I feel like that maybe resonates with a lot more of pile 3. So here, there's those metaphors. But when some people, right, can pretend that, oh, I can drink 6 shots and I'm fine, or I can drink 12 shots and feels nothing. Like, okay, alcoholic. I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to offend anybody, but some people may put up that front that 12 is like, oh, it takes 12 shots to get me blah, 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 drunk. And in fact, in reality, it only takes them 4. But because it makes them feel like they can handle it or they're stronger and much more, you know, they put up that front. And I feel like that can be energetically how you give. It could be your giving, the energy of how much you give. That same thing. It's like, oh, I can just keep giving. I don't feel depleted yet. And you're already like your body is drained, your mind is drained, your spirit is drained, your energy is drained, but somehow you're like, oh, I can just, if I give a little bit more, I'll get back tenfold. I'll get back even more. But in the end, you just start feeling more out of the cold. You start feeling more depressed because your energy is drained, and it's not, you don't set those boundaries. So yeah, going back to this precious time is definitely changing your perspective on, you know, being self-focused is not the same as being selfish. And self-focus is allowing yourself to recuperate when you need to, find your place of sanctuary when you need to, being fair. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm withdrawing my gifts and my energy from you. It's, you know, in order for me to give more, I need to give myself more too. I need to be fair to me in order to be fair to you. That's reciprocal, because that's giving yourself this self-respect and that self-love that you so want to receive from others. But oftentimes it could be the exact opposite. So that's what I'm seeing. Group 3. I mean, this is a lot of growth. Oh my gosh. Like, if you allow yourself and you know, make your vision board, bring more of that energy of the things that you want. And there is more than enough space for everyone. There's more than enough abundance for everyone. But you can't give with an empty cup. Allow your cup to overflow, to fill up to the point of overflowing, so all of that overflowing energy doesn't deplete you, and you can still give. You can still give without depleting yourself. And did that little fly just commit? Yes, it did. Oh my goodness, that was wild. Yeah, don't allow yourself to burn out for other people. I don't know. That may be a sign, because there's like a little fly, like little tiny flies that was just like flying around, and I was like, okay, whatever. And it just nosedived. And I'm kind of getting that moth to a flame. Sometimes we look so much, we're like, oh my God, there's the light, and to the point where we burn ourselves. And that's not where you want to be. You want the light to come from within and outward without burning yourself out, without feeling fatigued and emotionally drained. So group 3, so be fair. I'm sorry. Group 3, this is what I have for you. This is where I'm going to go ahead and end the reading for you. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you did, I really hope that this brought some clarity into your situation, into your month. Yeah, like I said, these oracle cards I have selected, that I have drawn for these readings, can be signs, synchronicities that bring you back to this message. And hopefully it gives you a sense of encouragement that you are on the right track, you know, that things that come your way, that, you know, that you have the opportunity to shift your perspective and change the course of action towards your dreams, towards the things that you want to achieve, to your visions, and not to your nightmares, and not to things that make you feel depleted and, you know, anxious and out of sorts. I'm seeing a lot of clocks here, so divine timing can also be a big factor in here. Also, I mean, with this owl, oh my gosh, there's an owl here. And so, you know, wisdom, yeah, a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, obviously precious time, but there's like so many clocks. So seeing, I mean, there's clocks everywhere, but like actual hand clocks, not digital clocks, yeah, not your phone. If you see, you know, actual pictures of clocks or that clock emoji, that may resonate. Yeah. So again, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that this brought clarity, and I do hope that you have a great month ahead. I hope that this message was useful to you, and I do hope that you come back and see me again in another reading. Okay, take care, group 3. Bye.